Good evening, everyone. We are going to start with the chapter number 4, that is a new chapter. Chapter number 4, that is a design trade off. Till now, so far in the chapter 1st, 2nd, 3rd, we have seen something related to the embedded systems, in which we have first part we have completed with the basics. In second part we have seen something the designing procedure, and in last chapter we have seen something according to how to voltage and digital to analog, analog to digital converter, how it is possible. And we have also seen about the signal conditioning. We have seen something about the digital signal processing, and likewise we have seen something the subsystems, how the external and interfacing is done. And so rest all things we have seen in this throughout the last 3 chapters. Now in this chapter we are going to learn something about the designing procedure of the system, how it should be. So whenever you are going to design one particular embedded system, what are the some features it should be, what are the qualities it should have. So we are going to see in detail about this design trade-off chapter. So moving towards the next, we are going to see the compatibility procedure of this design trade-off. So how this design trade-off is going to take place into this process compatibility, how it is going to be compatible with the input and output systems. So let us see in this how what it is going to tell us that the conceptual design basically involves the series of trade-off decisions among the significant parameters. Now whenever you are going to make some systems input as well as output, there should be some compatible and there should be some conceptual design where it is going to involve some series procedure, right, series parameter. So what are those parameters might be? Those parameters might be like the operating speed, whatever the speed you are going to keep for the transmitting of the information signals. What is the memory size, what actually is the size for the transmitting the information, or to keep the information whatever you need to be applicable for that particular application. So what is the power required for that application, what is the input output bandwidth, what is, so all these things is comprised to the design which is going to give you the best meet of the requirements. Okay, so these are all the design that you need to keep in mind, so that while designing one particular application these things is to be compatible with. So both the uncertainty is these requirements and the important trade-off factor should be uncertain. So what actually is the design trade-off is what we have seen, and with respect to that this trade-off factor should be considered while designing procedure. Next we are going to see those factors which used to evaluate the design trade-offs. Basically on basis of the quality or the qualitative basis we are going to see some different factors. Those factors are, first one it is the reliability, second one it is expandability, third one is the programmability, fourth one is the maintainability, next is the compatibility, adaptability, availability, and basically last is the development status and cost. So right from the reliable to the cost of that particular embedded application, these are all the factors you need to design whenever you are going to make it with one particular specific task oriented application. So let us see in detail about this expandability. Now what is expandability? Now this expandability is nothing but it is going to measure the computer system's ability to conveniently accommodate the increased requirement by higher speed, second by the physical expansion, or without the major cost redesign. Now whenever you are going to make expandability means what actually you are going to expand, you are going to enlarge your application. So while considering this particular point of expandability, what things you are going to see is what are the requirement, what is the requirement for that expandability. First one is the higher speed, is it not, and second is whether with respect to higher speed whether it is going to expand or by physical expansion. Physical expansion means if suppose you need to expand your memory in your cell phone, what you are doing by expanding the memory phone, you are going to insert one extra memory card in it, that is physical expansion. Physics simultaneously here also in this expandability you can add some expansion techniques, you can extend that memory. Second, without the cost, or major redesign, these things has to be done. Once the system is been already fitted, now see, the best example I can give you is for your cell phone. Okay, for this cell phone, whenever I need to expand, now suppose my cell phone is compatible with 64 GB. Okay, now I want to add some extra memory so that some data can be transferred into that extra memory. So how I am going to do, whether I am going to redesign this mobile phone again? No. What I can do is I can use some extra expansion. Now extra expansion means what? I am going to use some extra memory card in it, so that without redesigning, without any major cost, this and physically my device is going to get expanded, right? That is nothing but called as expandability. Second thing we need to consider for this expandability is the original design of the computer should provide the for this type of growth, especially with regard of the memory and input output section. So without any major redesign of the structure, it should have access for the input and output devices. Second, the general procedure. What is the general procedure? To define all this function, to see that the demanded of the computer system, such as regrowing growth problems, past programs, or to establish the range of possible requirements of each and every function, which may be double the present requirement. So whatever is the past data, while expanding, you should see all those concession that all the past data whatever you have, that should not be get extended without, and that should not hamper the present requirement, that should be kept in mind. Second thing, most likelihood expanded requirement should be estimated. Estimated means it should not move towards the extra cost. So the modularity is desirable method for providing expandability should incorporate with whenever feasible. So next we are going to see is the programmability. Now what do you mean by programmability? Programmability means you need to expand a program. Okay, so the programming, the computer should be considered early in the design. Okay, so as simple you are going to design your program, that simple is the programming of the computer should be designing. So the past experience shows that the balance between the programming simplicity and the hardware complexity is essential to prevent the cost of programming from becoming overwhelming. Okay, what it is saying that hardware complexity and easy programmable, it is shown as it is becoming the overwhelming response. Okay, for example, suppose sufficient memory capacity should be provided to accommodate the program. Okay, but the chances necessitated by increase the program's performance or mission's requirement. Now you are expanding the memory, but what is the performance of increasing the performance, or what is the requirement of the mission? Is it compatible with this both with the help of the memory? Is it increasing the performance, or is it increasing the mission requirement? Next, the memory architecture, whatever you are going to do with this memory architecture should be designed to facilitate the programming. First thing. Okay, second thing, it should be considered the hardware memories should be avoided if many program changes are anticipated, because with respect to this hardware changes, the time and cost is also going to be implemented with the respect to the changes. As the program is going to change, as the hardware is going to change, simultaneously the time and cost is also going to change. So these things has to be considered. With respect to that, the addressing facilities without artificial boundaries and simple routine leakages are recommended. So simple addressing facilities is recommended. Second thing, while considering this programmability, you should include the efficiency of the source language of the object code, and for converting from source language to object code, the easy use of source language has to be obtained from the computer coded programming. What it is saying that while programming, whenever you are going to program, whenever you are going to think about the memory and whatever the subroutine linkages you are going to talk about, so the source, whatever you are going to include, the source language is nothing but some ALP language, assembly language programming, whatever you are using, it should be simple while converting object code into the source code. so that the complete coded programming will be easily handled. Second, if the computer is programmed in flight, the use of the compiler should be considered. Second thing, a standard programming language such as the SPL or the JOVIL or the SCLAPS is desirable and should be utilized for the future applications if available. So these are some programs where you can write your language easily and it can be utilized in every application. So the degree of the software sophistication and the availability of support software should be considered during the design of programmability. Next we are going to talk about the maintenance, that is the maintainability. It should not be neglected when designing the computer. Everything is possible. Now whenever you are going to make the hardware very complex, whenever you are going to design your software very complex, the maintenance of this is very necessary, and while complexing all these things, the maintenance should not be neglected. So complexion should be there, but the programming should be easy so that the maintenance output is given correctly or it is maintained. Okay, so this you cannot neglect this maintenance. So repair should be readily accomplished during the ground operation. So design should be in such a way that the operation or anything of the repairing things should be done on the ground floor. Ground floor means it should be readily available, the parts whatever you are going to use on the some local stores. And in-flight maintenance is desired. That should be specified on the design requirement. Okay. The next we are going to see is in-flight repair or reconfiguration is closely associated with reliability. So whenever you are going to reliable with some particular things, the reconfiguration should be very closely considered. As such as the extension of the reconfiguration made possible will be dependent upon the reliability required. Malfunctioning should be or can be often detected by self-check programs. Malfunctioning is some error or some duplications can be provided, so that should be checked by the self program itself. There should not be some extra things required for it to check the malfunctioning. So that can be, if there are some malfunctioning, then automatically it can be detected or affected by switching or by manual operations likewise. So the trade-off should consider to use the degrade mode of operations. So this trade-off design should be considered while maintaining all these things. So generally the recommended pre-launch maintenance provide is to remove bad components. Whatever if you want to maintain your hardware, if you want to maintain any software, so use such things that can be maintained easily and that can be pre-launched easily. So whenever you have some bad components, remove that bad components or remove that particular subsystem so that it can be replaced easily and the backup can be given. So the facilitate of the manual maintenance or the sub-assemblies should be pluggable, require a minimum of disassembly for access and can be replaceable without adjustment. So once the system is assembled, it should be deassembled easily without any adjustment. Next we need to see is the design should provide case for the accessibility and should minimize the possibility of damages to the other part. So what it has been given that the design should provide the case of accessibility and should minimize the possibility of damage. So if any other damaged part, it should be easily changeable or it should be maintained during the maintenance part. So if replaced assemblies are to be discarded, then rather than the repair. So whatever the thing, if every time once the system can be repaired, twice the system can be repaired, thrice the system can be repaired, but every time the same cannot be done. So there should be possibility of the discarded as well. Every time instead of repairing, there should be possibilities of discarded or discarded the things, but maximum cost goals are replaceable module should be established. Next we are going to look with the compatibility. It should be developed between the computer and its interfaces. It should be developed with the software, also with the power labels, wherever necessary ground computers. So standard interfaces and power interfaces should be implemented. as I told you earlier, where there should be compatibility with input and output systems, all these things like interfaces, software level, power level, it should be maintained on the ground floor itself. So the interface compatibility, what it is doing, interfacing reduces the need of the data conversion as well as the peripheral requirements, which is highly recommended. Second thing, due to this compatibility, data compatibility between the model of computer family should be provided to simplify the designs of the peripheral equipment. So once the hardware is designed from the same family, there should be some or the other models can be used, so that if one model is not available, second model should be immediately available for that particular peripheral design. This should be the compatibility. Now, second case is the consideration is particularly important when computers are of different performance and architectures are interconnected. Whenever you are going to use some architectures, whenever you are going to interface some things to the microcontroller, the architecture is going to come into picture, right? So the different performance should be there, or should be compatible of any type of the architecture whenever it is used. So the source or the object code compatible between the spaceboard or the ground based computer is advantageous to facilitate the programming techniques. Next, it should be the nature of adaptability. Now it is defined as, what do you mean by adaptability? Adaptability is basically defined as the ability of a system to meet the wide range of functional requirements without requiring the physical modification. So what it is saying, that without any change or without any use of any external devices, this system or should be readily available to meet the wide range of functional requirements. So the adaptability is needed when the requirements are not well defined, or it is not, if it is anticipated by that computer, will be applied to the variety of missions and the number of spaces available. So although this is similar to the need of growth, which we have discussed in the expandability, right? In the case of potential